Finally! Finally! Oh, finally the Paladins are here, oh my god. We got other updates too, not just the Paladins, which we kind of talked about before. I'll glance over the other updates too, but finally we got the Paladins. They're not in the game yet at the time I'm recording this, but by the time that you guys are watching this, they will be actually in the game. The update will have already been implemented, but we can at least talk about the skills for right now. Before I do that though, I want to talk about this other stuff. New fusion recipes for Light Paladin, Fire Harp Magician. We saw that in the other video. We did a video a couple days ago. We saw that the fusion recipes for the Harp Magician and all that stuff. For the Paladin, whatever. 5-star fusion, this is great. 5-star fusion monsters will no longer be acquired via monster summoning at the Temple of, or Summonhenge and the Temple of Wishes. So Sigmaris, Katarina, Xiangfei, can't summon them anymore. You can't just pop a scroll. Oh, rip Katarina. Oh, that sucks. You know what? This would have been great like months ago before I summoned all of them. God damn it. Yeah, that's great though. That's great. So next time you accidentally summon a Katarina, it won't be a Katarina. It will be a Camila. Or a Vanessa. And then and then it could still be Vanessa. It still be Vanessa. But that's great that you can't, that there's no rip, oh, fusion, well, free fusions, lols. That's great. Great. World Arena Season 2 has ended, we know this. Reward tallying schedule, we know this. Special League, 20-star battle. For those of you that don't know, it's kind of like you can't just pick 5 Nat 5s, right? You can't pick 5 OP crazy stuff. You can still take some Nat 5s in there, but they have to be 20 stars or less total. Like, if you have 5, you can have 5 Nat 4s, you can have 3 Nat 4s, 1 Nat 5, 1 Nat 3. Not at those star, you can have them all 6-star and Awakened and stuff like that, but they have to be natural. The default star grade is what well, it says it right there. Default star grade, selected monsters can't exceed 20. So you could use like 3 Nat 5s, and then you gotta use like 2 stars and 2 Nat 2s and then 1 Nat 1, right? So you could do that, but probably not the best idea. So interesting. I mean, less pay to win. This is more esporty. I mean, if they want to go the esport route, this is kind of more that direction. We have these all the Magic Knights got a buff. Water Magic Knight got 3 buffs. 3 buffs. Decrease cooldown time, absorb attack gauge. And then decrease enemies attack gauge 2. Wind Magic Knight got Speed Break as well, added in there. Added in the Blade Surge. And Dark got continuous damage too. So they're really, this is out of nowhere. They're really pushing. They're like, yo, man, Magic Knights, start building them. So actually, I have a couple. I already used my Water Magic Knight. I don't think she's a bad monster. I don't use her everywhere, right? I use her for like Fire Rift Beast, but yeah, I mean, all these got buffs. Now they're kind of like the little sisters of the Occult Girls, kind of. It's kind of because we got a decrease enemies attack gauge, and we got dots, and we got speed breaks, kind of little Occult Girly like the Nat 4, not as good versions of the Occult Girls. But anyway, so those are just some little updates there. That's all the other stuff. Now we'll talk about these new Paladin monsters. So they're HP tanks, which I mean, I wasn't the only one that predicted. I think a lot of people were predicting even before, and then they came out and they were like, yeah, these are going to be HP based monsters that provide some kind of protection for allies. So that's cool. So I mean, it wasn't like rocket science trying to figure out like the type of monsters, but now we got to see the actual monster skills. We got to see if they're good. Justice Strike, fire 1, attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn, 15% chance. It's kind of low, but think about that like the monkey, right? Think about that like the Monkey King. All right, Prayer of Protection removes all harmful. So like for PvP, Revenge wouldn't be bad. Removes all harmful effects on the ally, makes the ally invincible for 1 turn. Okay. Cleanse and no heal, just cleanse and invincibility. Nice. Cry of Threat creates a shield that's proportionate to your HP for 2 turns. Proportionate to your HP. So if you have like 30,000 HP, that's a 30,000 HP shield. Activates Threat State, which is new. That's completely new to the game. Threat State, while the enemy attacks 3 times, the enemy can only attack the target under the Threat State using the attack skill. It's kind of like a Provoke, but I'm creating a shield on myself, and I'm putting threat state on, which means that the next time any enemies attack, they can't attack anyone else. They have to attack me. They don't get an option. So that's what this is looking like now. I mean, I don't have access to it right now. They're not we see the skills, but they're not technically in the game at the time that I'm recording this. So that's what it's looking like, though. And then Justice Strike Awaken attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn, 15% chance. Immunity for 1 turn afterwards. The attack will deal more damage according to max HP. Okay, so it's based on max HP, right? HP-based monster does damage based on max HP. So first skill is based on max HP, HP type monster, and then third skill scales shield based on max HP. So you want to have speed HP is what that's looking like. The threat state, really, we'll see in action. It's very similar to a provoke though, just mechanically a little bit different. So could be fun, but I don't know if she's necessarily OP. I could be wrong. We'll see it in action though. Then we have the water one. Justice Strike attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn. But I don't look at the fire one like right away and be like, ooh, I really want that. I'm like, we'll see it in action. I have to see it's a new skill, so it's a new threat state is new, so we'll see that. Justice Strike for the water one. Attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn, 15% chance. Okay, same as the other one. Attacks the enemy, fear of punishment, 2 times, remove beneficial effect with 75% chance, and provokes the enemy for 1 turn. Kind of like, think about this like Chiwu's second skill. 2 times, removes beneficial effect, 75% chance, provokes the enemy for 1 turn. Instead of doing the block beneficial effect, it removes harmful effects. Removes beneficial effects and provoke instead of beneficial effect block. Okay. Then we have the Heavenly Blessing passive. Removes all. No, hold on, Jermaine. What? Why are you making that face? Removes all harmful effects on you when you're under inability. This is a passive. Removes all harmful effects on you when you're under inability effects. And creates a shield proportionate to 20% of your HP on all allies for 2 turns. You instantly recover a turn afterwards. Okay. What does this mean? This means take the current RTA meta. Take the freezes. Take the Varad. Take the Okeanos. All that nonsense. Take the sleeps. Let's say you get frozen by Varad. You have this water paladin in your team, right? Varad, from what this is looking like, how this is going to work, Varad freezes you. Your passive comes into effect. She unfreezes herself, creates a 20% HP shield on all allies, and instantly gets a turn afterwards, right? Varad freezes. They're trying to do a combo. She gets a turn afterwards. She's like, no. It's kind of like the Fire Lich passive where he like steals a turn like in between. He's like, nah, it's my turn now. So this is potentially crazy. I mean, like, I love this one. This is the one. I think this is the one that you want. The Water Paladin is the one. She is OP, right? And it's a passive. It's a passive. Moves all harmful effects on you when you're under. So stunned, frozen, Okeanos. She gets stunned by Okeanos. Whatever. She cleanses it off. She puts a shield on the whole team. That's a crazy skill. That's so strong. And then Justice Strike Awakened attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn. 35% chance instead of 15. And your attacks won't land as glancing hits. Won't land as glancing hits. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, kind of like it too. Like, can you see that she's really strong? She's a really strong monster. Then we have Wind, Justice Strike attacks. Okay, stuns. Removes all harmful effects on the ally. Makes the ally invincible for 1 turn. So we saw this one. The fire one has the same one. Okay. But this is like, I think the fairy has that though, doesn't she? This is not my main account, guys. This is my Europe account. Light Fairy. And for some of you that haven't seen my Europe account, yes, I have an Artemiel. This is like this is an old account though. At this point, this is like old news. Where's this fairy? Where's this fairy? So she does removes allies harmful effect invincible for 2 turns. So this is a skill that we already have with this light remove harmful effects, but it's the second skill, whereas it's her third skill, right? And then we have the Divine Wind, recovers HP for all allies by 15% each. Okay, not a huge HP. Decreases chance of being inflicted with a critical hit for 2 turns, and shield proportion to your HP, 15% of your HP. This is kind of already in the game too. Asasis. Heal, 15% heal, 15% shield, and then crit resist, right? Basically, she does the shield. She doesn't do a heal too. She does the shield, and she does the crit resist. So this is a Sasis skill. Like, I don't... It's kind of anti... Like, you can still make... And I think this would be good because people aren't expecting to fight against her. You can kind of use her... You can put, like, make her a nemesis unit for your arena defense. And have her in there. Like where you would put Ariel, where you would put Praha, and maybe trick some people because they're not used to it. One Lucian goes, and then you have and she gets a turn. She Divine Winds. She heals up a little bit of that Lucian damage. She crit resists, and she does a shield too. And then the other Lucian maybe can't kill your team. So that's interesting that maybe you could use her there. But honestly, she looks a lot like the Wind Sylphid. And I'm not sure that really makes her OP. Maybe I'm just not seeing all of it, but like it's looking like she's not my like the water one is the one to for me, the water one is the one to get. The wind one is not as exciting. And her Justice Strike, her first skill, still stuns, and it decreases attack gauge by 30% with 35% chance. I mean, I don't get super excited about that. Then we have the Fusion one, Justice Strike, attacks and stuns. Okay, we see that. Curse Protection removes all harmful effects on the ally, makes the ally invincible for 1 turn. I'm sure you could use this on yourself too, right? Because we have the third skill, Cry of Provocation, provokes all enemies for 2 turns. 2-turn provoke. 2-turn provoke. Where could we use this? We could use this in RTA. We could use this in TOA even. It's like a crowd control that works good for monsters that cannot get stunned, right? Cannot get stunned, cannot get frozen against things like Fire Monkey. It's good against the Fire Monkey because you can provoke the Fire Monkey, so the Fire Monkey can't hit like your squishy monsters or whoever they're going after, right? Whoever your opponent's going after. But this is crazy. And I was talking to someone. I talked to them real quick just recently, just now, about this, and they were like, "Oh, you know what? That combo with Nyx, that's GG. You get that combo with Nyx. So all the Nyx owners are definitely fusing this. That highly recommended. That's a crazy combo. That's a 3-turn AoE provoke. I mean, that's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. I know you're like, provokes all enemies for 2 turns. That's a lot of turns being nullified, right? And with the provoke, it's kind of like Hathor, right? She sleeps everyone for 2 turns, but you could also wake them up. You could keep hitting those provoked monsters, and it doesn't matter, right? Like Hathor, you can't hit them, you can't touch them. These ones, you're like, yeah, I'll smack them around, give them some defense breaks, whatever. My thoughts on this girl. And then she also Justice Strike, Awaken, attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn, 15% chances. Also recovers HP of an ally with the lowest HP by 10%. Kind of like that light Magic Knight too. First skill, well, that's her passive, but this is her first skill. That will deal more damage according to your max HP. But first skill, I think Revenge on her. Provokes all enemies for 2 turns. Revenge. And I'm just imagining Violent Revenge, right? Cry of Provocation provokes everyone for 2 turns. Then we got the Prayer of Protection, and then Violent Proc into Prayer of Protection, the second skill. Removes all harmful effects, makes invincible. So you make her invincible, right? And then 8 turns of, like, 8 provokes, 2 turns on 4 units, right? Let's say you're going up against 4 units, like an RTA. And then she just gets hit over and over, does nothing, she's invincible. Doesn't even matter. And then even Revenge with all those monsters that have to hit her. Revenge is going to be strong on her too. Definitely. I think she's, like, in my opinion, she looks stronger than the wind and the fire ones. So, I would rather, the water one is I think the one that I probably would want the most. But that light one is looking... I mean, I'm happy to fuse her now. I'm happy. Then we have... The dark one is actually looking pretty cool, too. Justice Strike attacks and stuns, whatever. We see... Awakened, it actually stuns with an 85% chance, which is... Like, that's a guaranteed stun, basically. I mean, almost, right? That's a really, really good chance to stun. Fury of Punishment attacks the enemies 2 times to remove beneficial effect. And provokes for 1 turn. I like that. I like that. And then Internal Force passive, when the battle begins, balances the defense and attack power so that the stat with a lower value will have the same value as the stat with a higher value. What does this mean? This means that you built her as a defense tank. She's a defense-based monster, like the other ones are HP support. She's a defense-based monster, but she becomes this super, like, you just ruin her up with a bunch of defense, and then when she starts the battle, she buffs her attack to match her defense. So you could ruin her as a defense tank, and she also does just imagine, like, a Theomars that has, like, Wind Panda style defense. Like, that's, imagine that. That's a great, dangerous. But this is really cool, really cool. So I'm excited about that. That water one looks really... I mean, I said too long, didn't watch. I mean, it's 16 minutes. That's for a Jubagel video. That's not even that long. Water one, I think, is really strong. The light and the dark ones are, I think, good. And then the fire one I have to see, because that's a new skill. That threat state. And then the wind one just... She reminds me of Acasis, and she reminds me of, like, a little bit of the Wind Unicorn, kind of, but not more Wind Sylphid, really. She reminds me of the Wind Sylphid. So I mean, I'm really not too excited about that Wind one. On paper, we'll see in action, right? Could be wrong, but. Really psyched about that water one, looks really cool, and then the light and dark one. Man, I'm excited to get the light one now. I'm excited. That's cool. Hopefully it actually provokes though, because if it doesn't provoke, like I know that Water Frankenstein, I feel like he never provokes, right? He's got that AoE provoke. I feel like he never provokes. I don't think it's 100% chance anyway, but let's see. As long as it actually gets that provoke off, that is really strong. So. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And then we'll do some more videos as well, but I just wanted to get this video out, and then we'll do our quest to get our little paladin and play with her in a little bit. So I'll see you guys as always in the next video. And there's gonna be a video on the second channel today too, I think.